Good morning, everyone. Hello, and how are you? My name is Lily, and thank you so much for joining me today. This is a continuation of yesterday's video where I showed you how I dye the paper after making the avocado dye. And so I wanted to show you the result of those papers. I used some papers that I hadn't dyed before, and so I'm actually pleased with the outcome of these papers, and so I thought I would show you the results. One thing I also want to point out, and I think I kind of mentioned it yesterday as well, when you sun dry papers, the ones that are on the very top for some reason are going to show a lot more pigmentation, and let me show you what I mean by that. And so these envelopes were actually facing up right here. So if I flip it to the other side, you can see that they have this lighter shade of pink. See that? And so just make a note of that. The same thing when you coffee dye. The very top layer, for some reason, the ones that have the direct sunlight are going to dry much darker, a much richer color than the opposite side. So I'm sure you can tell. Let me see. Here it is again. You can see this one has a lot more color than this one here, this is the reverse side. Do you see that? Now, I suppose I could have flipped them, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the color variations. The same thing, if you dry papers and you dry them, for example, and they're layered, which you can do, you can stack 2 or 3 sheets together. The top one will always have a darker, will dry a lot darker. And so I really like the way this lined paper turned out. I hope you can see the true color of it. I have as much daylight here as I possibly can to show you. There are some areas that picked up the color, and I think it's because I kind of splashed a little bit of that avocado dye when the paper was wet, and so it puddled on the paper, and so that's why some areas have a lot more pigmentation. I like the way the graph paper turned out. What if I put some of this side by side with the way it originally looked? Let me grab a little bit of that color. Excuse me. Let me grab some of that paper. Now this came from a paper pad. So this is the original, and then this is the paper dyed. Can you see that difference? Yeah, this looks a lot more aged, and I really like, I love this one as well, but I am pleased with the results on this one. Okay, let's set that one aside. This is the graph paper, which I could tell immediately that had picked up beautiful color. And so let's put it side by side. So here it is. This is actually, it is, I think it's bookkeeping paper. Is it? Is this it? Maybe this is different. But you could see here, it was this color, and now it's this color with a little bit of the pink hue. I also like the way that turned out. So let's set this one aside. Oh, here it is. This is it. This is the paper. So can you see that? I like how that turned out. So I'm pleased with that. I love this one, and I love this one as well, just different uses. Just to add some contrast and some variations to the projects that you're working on. Here is the school paper. Let's put some school paper side by side. I know I should have had this ready. So here is some school paper. Regular and avocado dyed. So I love that color variation. So let's set that one aside. See where it's puddled right here? But I love avocado dyeing. Here is that large, this is the larger graph paper. Excuse me, that's not graph paper. It is ledger paper. This is paper that my sister gave me. She picked up at a thrift store. So this is the original. And this is it, avocado dyed. Gives it a nice aged look. So that's nice. Set that one aside. School paper. See that? And here is, this is the 8.5 by 14 legal size paper. And I'll put it side by side next to a white copy sheet. See that difference there? This is so pretty. It's amazing what an avocado pit and the skins can do. So regular copy paper, coffee dyed copy paper. Okay, let me show you. Well, I showed you the envelopes. So these are the envelopes. Some of the ink from the inside kind of transferred through, but that's okay. So you can see the difference there. The opposite side is a little lighter. The side that was directly towards sunlight, that one a little bit richer, so that was nice. And then off camera, after I turned off the camera, I realized I was also going to do some fabric, and this is what the fabric looks like. So I wanted to give this a try, and let me show you what the original looks like. Can you see that difference? So this is an off-white color, kind of a very creamy color. I actually picked this up on clearance. It cost me a couple dollars a while back. And so I just took a piece and I dyed it. And now this one, I will say, if you watched the video, you noticed that I didn't leave the papers in that baking dish, in the baking pan that I was dipping them in for too long, just a few minutes. This one I did leave in the water about 10 minutes. In the avocado water, I left it in there 10 minutes and then took it out. I wrang it and then I put it out in the sun to dry, and it dried fairly quickly because the sun was out. And so I hope you can see the difference there in the hues. This has a nice kind of pinkish, peachy hue. So I can't wait to use that in projects. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Just wanted to show you the results of the avocado dyeing process. So if you have the time, it doesn't take very long, and the weather is nice. Just set it out outside and let the sun work its magic. You could also leave them to dry on the counter as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. You can leave them down below. And I appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. I will talk to you later. Bye.